A lot of people have been talking about this show on HBO that's called The Last of Us. It comes on HBO Sunday. It's kind of crazy. We spoke about it a few episodes ago. I had watched the first episode or two. Leland, you hadn't watched it then, but now you have had a chance to watch it. And
Yeah, bro.
We'll get into spoilers later. But Leland, what do you think about the show, man? Also, even want to give the people a little premise. What's the show about? And what you think about it, dog?
Yeah, man. I like the show. It's I will say this, right? Because the show is actually based off a very, very, very critically acclaimed video game.
Yep.
That had a movie-like feel and story that players were able to kind of progress through. Like a lot of people had a lot of love for the game. I know a couple good friends of mine were like clamoring for it. I'm not personally into like single player games, so story games like that don't necessarily do nothing for me. But I knew the prestige that it came, this show came with, and so I respect it. You know, I wasn't aware of it, but I respect it. I like the show. I'm intrigued by what's going on. I have some criticism. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I have some criticism, but what do you think, man? What do you think?
Yeah, so I think it's good. Just for those who haven't seen it, it's like a show about basically there's this like fungus that kind of mutates and takes over humans that kind of turns them into zombies. Essentially, the humans become zombies, and if you get
Disgusting.
yeah, they actually look really gross. They're kind of some of the grossest looking zombies probably ever. I'm thinking of Resident Evil had zombies, did it. 28 Days Later, Walking Dead. Yeah, this looks worse than all those joints. Especially the first couple episodes, it hasn't been as nasty since, I don't think. But even I was watching with Latanya, and she was like, after the second episode, she's like, yo, I'm done. I'm not watching this no more. It's too nasty. And what's crazy is that it hasn't been as nasty since then. You know what I'm saying? There's been not quite as nasty since then. You know what I mean? So
they laid it on thick, bro. It's like,
they didn't know thick. So the zombies, they have like this little network amongst themselves because the fungus, you can imagine the fungi, just like a root system and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool. And so like most apocalyptic shows, which you guys know are my bag, I kind of like that, like kind of feel with how people have to survive and stuff. And so we'll just go quickly, I guess, for the first 6 episodes, and then next week we'll talk about each episode and things like that. There's only 3 remaining, by the way. But to me, I don't know if you remember, Lena, I was telling you that I liked the first half of episode 1. First half of episode 1, it started off like, yo, let's get it, son. This is my bag. Stuff hit the fan. The zombies come out right away. People are scrambling. They don't know what to do exactly. Let's go. And then I remember they like jumped 20 years after. I'm like, hold on. Spoiler alert, guys, by the way. We're gonna get to the spoilers now. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I was like, I didn't put, so to me, like the first half of episode 1, I was like 10 out of 10. Second half, 6 out of 10. So overall, first episode, like 7.
I wasn't that hard on it, man. I watched it later, and me and Ashley, we watched it and we were thinking about what you said about like, dang, like the first half is good. The second
what you thought about the first half though? What you thought about the first half though?
I mean, the first half was good. I mean, the show is good, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at it, but I didn't feel that same contrast in the episode 1. Like I know what you're saying. What they did was what they did. They time skipped, but they time skipped
a part that was like, bro, I really want to see how y'all about to get out of this jam. I really want to see the next 5 minutes. It's like it looked like they were about to all die. You know what I'm saying? How did y'all get out of this joint? They were driving down one way. Oh, we can't go here. Drove another way. Can't go here. Can't go here.
Now that what you're saying is one of my criticisms for the whole show. Okay. They drop a lot of stuff. They drop a lot of stuff. They add stuff into the show, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they'll bring it all around.
Okay.
Bring it full circle. Maybe they're getting real artsy with it, and they're like, "Yo, this is foreshadowing" or something like that. But they've done it a lot, bro. Where they Matter of fact, the last episode, we'll get to it when we get to it, but the last episode did that too, because I was like, I was like, did they say how they got to the city? Nah. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care to tell the entire story. Like this show is very much like, hey, we're gonna get to the parts we want to get to, and we might leave out a whole bunch of gaps, and you just have to tough it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's literally what they do. Like what I've seen.
Yeah, no, I think overall though, like the first episode, second episode also, if you will remember, it was kind of just like them traveling the whole episode. I was like, this joint here. Then third episode had the a completely different story. Which also, you watched Atlanta, or have you seen like the last 2 seasons of Atlanta? Either one. That was my
Two
point with
seasons?
Atlanta. Like they started, you have a whole different episode dedicated to something else. I'm trying to see what's happening with the main characters, and you give me something completely different. It was a great episode. Episode 3, people were talking about it. It's very emotional. I talked to people that are saying they was crying and stuff. It was a very well done episode. I'm just telling you, I've heard people say that. I've heard people say they were crying, man. It was touching, man. It was like a love story between these two people, man, pretty much. But the thing is, they didn't really tie into the storyline. But to me, 4, 5, and 6 though. 4, 5, and 6, especially 4 and 5. I'm like, all right, now let's go. Now you turn it up, man. Now you turn it up.
Yeah. And then they had some action in there. I like the characters. I like the actors. The actors might be the best part of the show.
They're really doing well. They're killing it.
I like the girl. I like Joel. And I know, like I said, I'm telling you, I've seen it. Everybody was like, they better get good actors for that. I mean, the whole cult following, the video game fanatics of the game were like, you have to get a good Joel. You got to get, like, you can't do this. So I'm sure, and I think the overall consensus is that people are happy with the job that he's doing for how he's portraying the character. And I actually like the way he's acting as well. I think they're doing a good job. It might be their best part of the show. It's like they're endearing.
They're doing really well. They're really well, man. And even the way HBO is shot, we talk about things, how the way it's shot looks great. The acting is great, sound quality, everything is like to pristine conditions as you would expect from HBO and all this money. But have you seen on YouTube where they have like the shot-by-shot comparisons?
Nah, of the game. You should watch them.
Yeah, it's really good. To me, I know people always have their affinity to the game, but to me, the show is by far and away way better. To me, for 2 reasons. People might hear this, but heck no. But mainly, having a real person looks much better and more realistic. The game still looks, when you compare it to me and you talking, sitting here, it's way more choppy. Their movements are. Sometimes the mouth doesn't all the way. So you see the job the actors are doing. They're like really killing it. And some scenes are like shot for shot, joke for joke, word for word. You know what I'm saying? But it's really good, man. They're doing it really good. One other thing, since I'm recapping everything, I feel like the girl, to me also, and maybe since she watches All in Order too, maybe get less of this, was just very annoying at the beginning, man. Like she's getting less annoying now, but at the beginning, it's like, yo. And I remember I commented on YouTube about that. I was like, hey, this girl's annoying. And they were like, oh, well, she's a teenage girl. What you expect? And I'm like, that's fair, but she can still be an annoying teenager. Yeah, she's acting like
I think
annoying right now. She complaining the whole time. They're trying to save your life. It's like, bro, just relax.
Bro, think about this is what you got to understand. Like you gotta, in shows like this, you have to take yourself into the mind. It's 2 things, right? Because it's kind of one of my criticisms. This is my criticism of all shows like this. But also, like, hey, like what she was born into. Like she was born in a place where she was kind of hard. Like she's not the softest kid, that she had to kind of grow up rough. And so that's kind of like her persona. It's like it's very abrasive and I don't really care. So I think that's just kind of like her character.
But to me, it's like you could have even if you do that, it can still be like not a likable. You know what it is? I heard this is what it is. When you have someone that you don't see that journey, maybe, and you kind of start off that way, it's a little less desirable. Like, for instance, Joel, the main character, who, loses loved ones and stuff like that. You saw him kind of being like, he's kind of like the playful, kind of jokey dad, not too serious, kind of like fun loving and stuff like that. And he's experienced so much loss that now he's really hardened. So he's like, okay, I get it. Her, we haven't seen that from her. So it's like, you just kind of come in as like, yo, relax, we saving you, son.
But you got to understand, I mean, they had those moments, right? Where
it's getting better. No, now I don't think she's as annoying no more.
No. I'm saying even early on, like when they first kind of introduced her and they started going on this journey, like, and they was walking by the plane and she was like, yo, what's that? And they were trying to really portray the idea that like, yo, she didn't exist. She 20 years, this has been going for 20 years. So she was born in this world.
After it happened, yeah.
So, and they're also showing the world how crazy it is and how dog it is and how corrupt it is. Like she's a product of it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what they're trying to show you. Like this girl is a product of it, but she's also, very tough and resilient, which is kind of like, probably why she's made it to this point. You see what I'm saying? She's got some toughness to her in a world that requires it.
That's the fact. I would say this too. I don't know if you saw the sneak preview of next week's episode, like a little 30-second snippet. But
Nah,
I was so excited because the way this last episode ended, I was like, oh snap, I gotta know what's happening. Let me tell you why it's a little another knock on the show. Tell me why it looks like the whole next episode about to be a flashback to exactly what you're saying. Her growing up in the QZ. I'm like, bro, no, move this storyline forward. I don't want
bro. That's my biggest critique, man.
you going back to you gonna show us how it was her growing up. Like, bro, I ain't trying to see that right now.
I always hate it. Always
Flashback
hate
episodes, bro. It just seems like they be feel like this is only season 1, but I know like show like The Walking Dead or sometimes you watch other stuff. It's like this is a filler, son.
It's a filler.
You could have said this in 2 sentences. This happened, and now I'm like this. We didn't need a whole episode dedicated to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, come on.
I'm hardened because my mom
You could have said that, yo. Literally, just say that. We don't need to see the whole thing happening for 45 minutes played out, bro. Man, come on.
The whole episode is just a flashback. That joint wild, son.
That's what it seems like from the sneak.
Hey, bro, listen. The start of this episode, the start of this most recent episode, and the end of the last episode. I remembered it because when the episode started, they gave you a little, reminder of what happened last episode. I was like, oh yeah, that happened. That's crazy, bruh. Start a new episode, just straight up in a different place.
Did you see? You didn't see what it said on the screen, did you?
Nah.
3 months later came up on the screen. It jumped forward 3 months. Literally, it was in white, so it was in white against a white background. That's why you probably couldn't tell because it was snow background, and 3 months later came up in white. So they jumped forward 3 months, and it's like the same thing. I want to see what happened, and so even for that, it's like, yo, to me, some of the so here's a little thing too. Some of the conversations they were having too in this last episode. If you really been together for over 3 months now, you would have had these drinks before by now. It's like y'all still kind of trying to figure each other out, like after 3 months.
Yeah. 3 months, and this y'all the only 2 people. Come on,
only 2 people. We talking about everything, dog.
Everything. I know you like as deep as anybody else, bro. We don't have nobody else to talk to.
Ain't no cell phones. You might find a random book here and there, and that's it. So, yeah. So, but overall, though, I still do. Overall, some people are really.
All right. This is the easy one, man. Because this is why I always ask you because it helps me understand how much you like it.
Okay.
What's out of 10, bro?
It still got a lot of redeeming stuff about it. Even I'm thinking of TV shows I'm watching right now.
What's out of 10, bro?
At least an 8.5, I would say. 8.5.
Nah.
Too high, too low for you?
Too high, bro.
Too high? I still think it's good, bro.
Ain't nothing more than about a 7.5 right now. It's halfway through. You know how it is, bro. Everything like they can have a fire last 2 episodes or just a fire season finale and this be like, yo, craziest show I've ever seen. Just because it, they have this tendency of making a show like a movie where it's like you can't really judge a movie until you see the ending. Like so much of the movie, the weight of the movie is by the ending. And so much, likewise, it's on the show. Like so much of the weight of a show is how they end that season. And if everything comes together and it's just like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, yeah, it could be a 9, it could be an 8.
Sure.
But right now, without me knowing how it's gonna end, and given all how sporadic they just kind of jumping around this world, I'm giving it a 7.5, bro.
But last thing then, have you seen other people talking like really highly about it?
Yeah, bro.
That's where I'm like, hey, I mean, not saying for me it ain't like that, but they've had some episodes to me, like I think episode 5 when they run around with the brothers were really dope.
No, artistically,
yeah,
the individual episodes are not bad. They're great.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's a problem. Like the individual episodes are great. Like so when you're watching it, if we were like literally just dissecting every episode based off the merit of its own self,
okay,
it might be ranked higher. Okay. But as a cohesive unit right now, for me, it's not that great. Like it's not, like you said, I'm looking forward to next episode. But are you, if you know that it's just gonna be?
Well, now that I know it's a flashback, a little less now. I'll be honest.
And that's
now
my
I know it's
point.
A flashback.
That's my point. It's highly contingent on the ride that it's taking you.
Sure.
Like let's say, for instance, like I'm telling you, like my favorite show of last year, that you didn't think so highly about, which was crazy to me.
I still get Bear around 8.5. About 8.5.
No, not even Bear, not even Bear.
Okay.
Which is a good one, but that one's probably a little less ride than this show that I'm talking about. Is Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon.
Hey, listen, real quick. I did see a stat that said this joint outstreaming that joint. I saw that. It's got more.
Listen. All right, listen.
I'm not just saying, like, that was a real popular show too. This was even more popular.
Listen, this is the thing, bro. I don't care. Like, I don't care what numbers and statistics other people will say. For me,
I'm not saying to make it good. I'm just saying that it's because House of Dragon was extremely popular, and basically this is even more popular. I'm not saying,
but it had a whole game. It had a cult following, bro. Like,
just Game of Thrones, though.
No. Game of Thrones didn't have, like, I don't think you really understand how big the game Last of Us was. Like the game came out a long time ago, and they remastered it and brought it to the next gen consoles just so people could come back and play it. Like I think it had more reach. It got more people involved than Game of Thrones did. You think about the type of people that are going to read the books of Game of Thrones. Like,
not really read the books. Yeah, I'm thinking more so people that watched it before that kind of was like, oh snap, it's another game.
Yeah, but even then, they watched it before, but nobody was excited for it because Game of Thrones kind of the ending of the original series kind of fell off, and so people the hype that people had for the series was lost in how they ended the show, and so. You know, there's a lot of more nuance to that. So I can't compare, like, okay, just because more people are watching it. But for me, it's more about the storytelling, the cohesiveness, the ride that a show takes you on week after week after week. That's why, bruh, you need to do it right now. Power 3, season 3 is coming out in March. You might as well go ahead and catch up, dog. You might as well go ahead and catch up. I'm telling you that if you go based off the ride that they take, that's what Power at its heyday did the best. Like, you talking about cliffhangers from week to week, bruh. People were on edge to see what happened next, and they very rarely at the peak, they very rarely dropped the ball. You know, they dropped the ball in seasons. But when it was at its peak, every episode it was fire. And that's what Last of Us, to me, is missing to get a highly rated show, is that week to week, I'm not really that engaged because I know they have a tendency to just skip and jump around. Okay. You know, it's like, this might not even matter to me in next episode.
I got you.
So why do I care right now? So
I got you. I think one last thing I'll say is, like, I'm thinking about TV shows I watch now. I would say it's the best show on TV currently too. So that's why I am looking forward to it, because I'm literally thinking about shows I'm watching right now. I'm talking about shows that are currently airing week to week right now, not in general. What else you watching that's better than this week to week?
Yeah, listen, bro. Is it better? Debatable. Do I want to watch it more? Okay. Absolutely. Give me BMF, bro. Give me BMF every week. What I'm saying is, because of the storyline and the progression, I'm more intrigued. I just want to know what's happening more every week. In fact, we watched both of those episodes just today. And the first one we put BMF on first. We'll watch Last of Us a little bit. Ashley fell asleep.
I got you. I think
woke up a little bit, try to watch the end. You know what I'm saying? But BMF, we in there. We watching the whole thing, bro. We locked in. We're following the story. We're inside the world that they're trying to create.
I guess to me, might be just difference of like I said, post-apocalyptic is kind of my show. A lot of shows I like are like this, so I'm for sure looking forward to Last of Us over BMF. I watched BMF the last one today. Maybe next week we'll get into it, but I just think maybe just difference in taste too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of like this type of, like, everything.
No. When you're talking about, like, if you're talking about technically, come on, bro, it's not even close. They have way more money, way more.
But not even just technically. I'm like, literally, I like the storyline personally better.
Way better writing. It's just, me personally, I'm just more intrigued with the story of BMF than Last of Us right now. Hot take.